I Love My Dad is a wild film, to say the least.
Yes.
So I'll start with Claudia and then Patton. When a script like this comes along your way, what is your initial reaction when you're reading through it?
For starters, it was the fastest read of my life because I think you're watching this snowball just build larger and larger. I think once I reached the point in the script where the sexting started, that is when I was in. I was like, I need to see how this is going to get done. I need to see how this is going to be shot and edited and executed, because James just plays such a fine line of finding where that line is and not crossing it. And I think that's what makes a script so interesting. And I was just so happy to be a part of it. Patton, what about you?
Yeah, no, exactly what Claudia said. There are those scripts that you read where you go, as a audience member, I would want to watch this. I like, how are they going to do this? So if me being in it helps it get made, because I want to see it get made, then yes, that is it. That was a huge push to me saying yes.
So what was it like for both of you developing your rapports with James? I mean, you two have both very different and very identical relationships with him in this film. So what was it like for you developing that rapport with him?
Well, I mean, with me, my rapport is I'm desperate to reconnect with him. And when we're together, he has a wall of silence up against me, and that is slowly breaking down. And I don't want to speak for Claudia, but it was fascinating to watch Claudia have to play not Chuck, but Franklin's fantasy of how he wants Claudia to. It was an amazing balancing act that I should probably let her answer, but it was amazing.
Well, it perfectly segues into my answer, which is we had completely different filming experiences.
Yes.
I am living a rom-com, a coming of age film. And Patton is working through the emotion of a suspenseful horror thriller drama.
Horror thriller is a good way to describe what I had to go through. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. It's crazy how fine line that script is. And so I'm curious, what was that, did you find that challenging in your respective scenes, having to try and find that balance between comedy and drama, especially Patton, since you are such a comedy vet?
I mean, all the times that I've ever gotten my biggest laughs doing comedy is when I played something deadly seriously. It's way funnier if it's a serious thing to the character, even if it's ridiculous, than if you're there trying to make it funny by being wacky or being goofy. So the times that I have been 100% sincere and this is no laughing matter, I mean this, that's when you always get your biggest laugh.
Definitely. Always commit.
Always commit. Yeah.
Well, with this movie, you definitely had to commit.
We didn't have a choice. You had to. It doesn't work.
Did either of you have a favorite sequence to shoot in this film, given that there are so many just wacky ones?
Wow. I think my personal favorite might even be a bit cliche, but dancing down the street. That was such a that day of shooting, I was like, I've always dreamt of this moment, because there's just something it was just really sweet.
That's amazing you brought that up, because when we shot that scene, first I watched Claudia, who can dance, who actually is really good and smooth. And then I had to come in and do Chuck's best version of someone who knows how to dance, which was easy to me because I can't dance. But again, it was what Claudia said. I had to absolutely commit to doing these awful moves, because this is now Franklin's nightmare realization of what he was doing and how awkward and horrible that would look. And the way that scene cuts together, that is actually going back and forth between what Claudia's saying, rom-com, horror thriller, like it just back and forth. That is such a jarring sequence to watch.
But yet such a fun one at the same time.
It's really, really fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
Now, before I let you go, Patton, I think the other day you mentioned we might be hearing some word on the Eternals coming back soon. Is that true? Can you give me any kind of tease?
I must keep mum about that, unfortunately. Sorry.
Fair enough. You don't want the Marvel snipers.
Sip that tea.
Mm-hmm. that
Well,
tea
thank you
covered.
both so much for taking the time to chat. I had a blast.
Thank
I
you.
loved the film, and I can't wait
Oh,
to see
thanks,
more
man.
about it.
Thank you.